I want to talk about last week. Last week I posted a video on this channel where I talked about my emotions of finding out that my dear friend Mike only had days left to live. And at the very end of that clip I added another clip which was filmed about a day later, where I stated that I had bought tickets. I was going to Australia. And 2 days after that was filmed, I went. I flew down to Australia. I landed in the evening of the Friday, the Midsummer's Eve, and on the Saturday morning I decided, I was going to write to him, because I didn't want to write to him before I went down there, because I didn't want him to feel guilt for any reasons of me going. And I wrote to him, and within 15 minutes I got a really happy reply. He was so happy to read my email and knowing that I was there. And about an hour later there was an event at the hospital which he had called Say Goodbye to Mike, but maybe not just yet. And I went down there in a cab, and along with maybe 50 or 60 other people, we got to, say goodbye. We got to talk to Mike. We got to hang out with him and eat good food. And there were two speeches. One was a speech written by Mark Pearson, that Mike's son Matt read out a parable about the kind professor. And the other speech was from the vice chancellor of the university in which Mike worked, and the same university where I studied 15 years ago. And he was awarded the title Emeritus Professor, which is something very unusual, but in all sense of the word, well deserved. And following that, so many, within the spirit of what had happened, so many good things happened. I had a really good stay, and you can see much more of this on the Swedish Lad channel, my monthly video for June. But at the end of the day, it's now over a week later since I saw him, and we now know that he is in the final stages of his life. And the whole sense of being there was actually not one of sorrow. It was one of happiness and joy and a celebration of life, because how often do you get the chance to actually meet the person and say goodbye to a person while that person is still very much conscious of what is happening? It was a blessing. I told him and I told other people there that I'm gonna push away the sadness for a later day and just enjoy the moment, and I did, and I'm very certain that Mike did as well, along with the people around him. So I am thankful, I am sad, but most of all I'm grateful for taking the decision to fly down there. I'm grateful to my wife for just saying to me, go, just go. And I want to finish off with part of the speech, the parable that Mike's son read out loud. It says, "Some cultures believe that the path to enlightenment lies in act of kindness and the offering of wise counsel to others. This generous storytelling professor reached enlightenment in his final weeks and days as he was showered in the golden rays of all the love and kindness he had offered others throughout his years." And that is something that I also want to live by. To be so much of what Mike was when it comes to his approach to the world, and just take it all in, and most importantly, and something that he iterated to us back when I was a student of his, and that he reiterated when he found out that he had pancreatic cancer stage 4. Do it all now. Good talk.